Hello fellow survivors, and welcome to another video about Prologue, Go Wayback, which is this survival game set in a wide open world, procedurally generated with a lot of different mechanics. Now if we hop into it and see how it's changed since the last video, because the thing about this game, it's in constant development. It's constantly being changed and altered. They take a lot of community feedback to heart and improve things. There's also been a modding session not long ago where people can make their own mods and all sorts of stuff. It's a very exciting project, and it's exciting to see where it goes. Now, I'm here in the game in its current state. It's been a couple months since I was last in it, and it's already changed quite drastically. Quick note before I go any further, this is the Pathfinders build I'm playing on, which is like an inside playtesters build that I have access to and I have permission to share. But I'll just go through some things here. So first thing, if you have seen this game before, then you'll notice quite a few changes. If you haven't seen it, don't worry, we'll go through the whole thing. But it's a really exciting project made in Unreal, basically, by PlayerUnknown and his studio, same guy who made PUBG. I noticed in the main menu, there's a massive difference. In the first time I played this game, when you started up, it pretty much launched you right into the game. But now it gets you to this main menu where there's all sorts of things. It doesn't say Prologue anymore, it's just Go Wayback, but I think that's just a coincidence. You can now save the game. That was something that would be handy because it takes quite a while actually to get to the weather station if you're doing story mode. But now they've added a few things. So there's game modes, for example. Go Wayback is the standard. You have to get to the weather station. It takes about an hour or two of gameplay, so you need to go straight there. But it can take much longer, like 4 or 6 hours, depending on how you play and what the terrain is. Then you have the survive version, which is there's no goal, you just survive in the open world. And it says it's cabinless. I don't know if that's true. Last time it wasn't cabinless, but we can see. And then you have free roam, which is just like exploration mode. You don't have really any of the issues with food and that. You can just go around and explore the world. And you can fly around the glider too. All sorts of cool stuff. All right, that's great. Then now they've added a few things. They also have custom game now, which is something that PlayerUnknown talked about. I've interviewed PlayerUnknown twice, and he talked about all these things he wanted to do, and this is one of them. And here you can set all sorts of different things. You can choose if you're doing Go Wayback or survival mode or whatever. And you can change things like the temperature, spawns, the airflow, hit points of cabins, and all sorts of things. Now, there aren't any tutorials yet as of in terms of what these things mean. When the game was launched in its first version that I tried, there was no tutorial of any kind, no help whatsoever. So you had to learn everything by yourself from scratch. That's not that unusual. The Long Dark's similar. The Long Dark doesn't really teach you how to play the game. You have to figure it out yourself. And they initially stuck with that, but then they decided to make a help screen and then like pop-up tips and that sort of thing, because a lot of people didn't really know what to do. And here you can customize things, but it doesn't really explain what they are. I'm sure that will come eventually. Like, for example, airflow strength. What's that? Is that the air coming through the cabin if the doors are open? What's the hit point of a cabin? Is that how much stuff is in it? How big it is? See what I mean? So it doesn't really explain what these things are. Hunger, that is fine, on and off. Weather, on and off, that sort of thing. All this is fine. Night speed, weather change speed, all this is great. In time, though, you can expect this custom setting to be much bigger, because one of the things that PlayerUnknown talked about when I had a conversation with him was that he would like to standardize the game if possible. One issue with, for example, if you want to speed run a game like Prologue, there's of course a randomness to it. Like the weather will change. That's something you see in a lot of games where there's randomness, and the runs aren't really comparable because one person might have a blizzard and then the other one has a clear sky. So in time he wants to standardize it so you can create a custom game with specific settings that locks in, say, weather and loot and that sort of thing, so that if someone's speedrunning the game, they can do it exactly the same each time. So this is a start of that, but it needs some more improving tools. The custom seed, this is something that was added a little while ago. For a while it was just for playtesters, and you had to use this code to do it. But basically, you can type in a seed. There's also, you can just, I think you can also type in whatever you want there if you want to get that one, because it is procedurally generated. But even though it's procedurally generated, it's not technically unlimited. There's something like 2.4 billion possible maps that can spawn, and each map will have a code. So if you then go to a map that you really liked, you can see that code, and you can then type in that code here, and it will give you the same map next time. In my experience, the map isn't identical in terms of its content, but the layout is the same. Now, another feature that's now been added, that again, before you could do this, it was to make your own map, but in the past it was its own editor, and again, path testers had access to it and that sort of thing. Now you can import a file, but you could also just draw it. You know, you can say, you know, hi, and whatever. And you can draw it and say this is maybe you want a little lake or whatever this is, and so on. And it will make a map for you that will follow this specific pattern, which is amazing. There are limitations to it, but you can actually make your own map. Now, drawing is one thing, but what some people do is they get maps of some sort of river system or some sort of picture of a real map, and they import that, and then it will mimic that, which is very cool. Which is really, really cool. And you can also load them and all sorts of stuff. So this is very exciting. This, I think, is the same loading a code, I think is what this is. Okay, so that's great. So it's already come a long game. You have a history tab here, which I think is just all your runs to date, which is fine. We'll have a look at that another time. Then they added something new, which is, I'm surprised they did, but it's interesting. The tutorial. We can have a quick look at the tutorial. So this is the tutorial. And there's 4 cabins in a lighthouse in this open, basically plain world. And basically it's a voiceless tutorial. You can see it's not perfect. See, the lighting is kind of glitching a little bit. You know, that will happen. The sun should be quite beautiful to see. There you go. See, the lighting is really good in this game. It looks really nice. The scenery is great. The weather is great. But I mean, it's still in development, so there's some issues. Now, these cabins all show basically different things. It also teaches you outside of the cabins things you can pick up, like here, for example. This is a wild garlic. It tells you the calories, tells you how much water you get from eating it, and you can eat it. And at the top right, you can see there's these meters. If I do like this, it'll be easy to see. This is your temperature. Right now, we're at a good temperature. If you get too hot, your character's too hot, too cold, too cold. And this will impact things. I can't remember the details, but if you're too hot, for example, you lose hydration faster, that sort of thing. And if these things reach 0, you basically start dying. And then the other meters, the orange and the teal or whatever, is your hydration and hunger. Okay, there's no sleep or fatigue in this game. You can sleep in beds to pass time, but there's no energy meter as such. The one thing that I don't like, that I hope they do change, is that you have to sprint, you click shift, and you toggle between walking and sprinting. If you walk towards an object like this, nothing happens. If you sprint towards the object, then you vault over it by clicking space. Actually, maybe it does it anyway. I felt like it did it by itself. Okay, it does it anyway. Okay, but if you sprint and then crouch, you also can slide. I think you can do that here. No, maybe not. Maybe they removed that. That was a bit annoying. But I wish that the sprinting was you could choose whether you toggled it or not. So at the moment, it's forced as toggle on and off. I really wish you could just hold it. Anyway, these cabins all show different aspects of the game. One is more interesting than the other, and I'll show you. And it's voiceless. They basically have these arrows. So this one, for example, shows how to use the hammer. So if you were to come across a cabin like this, where you want to enter, you then have to take the hammer. And this allows you to break things down. And you can just do this. But there's one thing to it, though, is that if you have something that's boarded up like this, if you hammer it, what you actually do, it looks like you're smashing, but what you actually do is you're taking it off. Okay, now it's in your hand. You can then reattach it somewhere on the wall or on a window to seal it from storms. It's a little finicky, but if you do like this, see, now you boarded up that window, kind of. It's a little bit confusing because what happens if you take this now, you're now holding it, but you want to take the next one off. You can't do that. See, if I do that now, it will just attach this again. But I want to take it off. See, so you have to actually take it off, drop on the floor, and so on. See what I mean? So it's basically all this stuff. You have to do one at a time. These big planks here are good for boarding up houses, windows that is. Again, it's a little tricky. There we are. Again, you got to drop it. You can also set these on fire. Oops, I smashed the door. That's something you can do as well. You can destroy things, you know. And you can open the door, of course. And then here, you can just vault over this, but you can also break it, which is cool. And then you can also light this on fire. You know, it's materials, which is very, very cool. The crouching is also toggled, by the way. And then here's basically a standard cabin. And you loot things by just opening them. You don't interact with them like you would in many other games where you have this like a loading or searching screen. And you just open to see what you can find. Most things can be picked up. Everything can be broken. You can take this vase. If for some reason you wanted this vase, you know, you put it somewhere. And here's matches as well. We'll have a look at fire later. Okay, so that's one cabin. I'm not going to go into all details there. There's another cabin over here. It's quite a nifty little mini tutorial, this one. And here you have, again, arrows. Oops, sorry. I'm so used to button H being holster, but it's actually button 5. This is to start the generator. See, there's a generator here that will help you turn on lights, for example. The lights are off. The hob isn't working. For example, the stove, that is. So you need a generator on. To do that, you need fuses. There's 5 fuses. And you can pick these up and go, and you can, if they're in your inventory, you know, you can just put them in your quick slot. And you can place it here. Alternatively, you can click F and put it under your arm. Then you click R to place. And now you have all 5 fuses. You turn this on. Then you can turn the generator on. And now the electricity is working. There's a flashlight there too. We don't really need that. And now you can turn on the stove. It works. See? So now you got electricity. Limited fuel though. This will eventually run out. So that's another nifty little thing. And then here we have another one. This one I think is the fire cabin. Teaches you how to make a fire. So here it basically tells you 1, 2, 3. You need the yellow first, orange and red. Yellow is this tinder. So there's things like books and paper, cardboard, that sort of stuff. You place it here. A collision issue there. Then you need sticks as well. You take those. You have to actually build the fire, which is the interesting part about this. Take some sticks. Put that on top. You know, nobody's perfect. And you can also have 1 or 2 of these on top. And then you gotta start the fire. You should basically light a match. There you go. Notice that the match disappeared from the matchbook, which is cool. The way it works is that the tinder will light really fast. And then the sticks take a little bit longer, and then the big ones take even longer. Once it starts burning, you can just freely add other stuff. Just place it on top to make a bigger fire. Or, you know, if you really want to, you could say, break this chair. Pick up all this stuff. Put that on there. I'll burn. See that? Isn't that cool? You can break a lot of stuff like that. You can break this because it's a workbench. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you can break and you put that in there. It is possible to start a fire without tinder using the sticks and stuff, but it usually takes multiple attempts. And you kind of need the fire starter to do that, which is like flint and tinder. If you use matches, it's much harder. And we can try, but I don't think it's going to work. If I light a couple of matches, it might work, but it's much harder. Because it's not really... It's not flammable enough. You can try lighting the post-it on fire if you like. Which I think you can take these. Maybe you can't take these ones, but you see what I mean? It doesn't really work. But if I take these things, place these on here, it's a lot easier. And then the fire burns and we're heating them. In fact, there's these new status symbols. You see this like a picture of a person sweating. And now I'm too hot. I'm getting overheated. So I'm too hot, basically. That's what that is. And you can have a drink to soothe your hydration. Okay, so that's that. So that's fire for you. You can't pick up the fire like in some other games. You can't... oh, the holster is bugged again. That's an issue that still is persisting. You can't, for example, pick up a stick, which is a little bit... Maybe in time they'll do that. But if I take a stick, for example, I can't poke this in. Or I can't put it, say, here to catch fire and then pick it up again, I don't think. Once it's... now it's on fire. I can't take it now. So I can't, for example, transfer the fire. That's something that would have been nice, because what you can do, you can actually take, say, these sticks... And, you know, this is very health and safety, but you can put them on, if you don't have matches, put them on the hob here. And they'll start burning. And I have a fire on the hob. Which is good, except what you really want to is now take this and move it onto the fireplace, right? So it would be really nice if it was possible to pick up a stick and just put it on the fire, you know. That would be really nice. Because otherwise you're just cooking on this hob here, which is a bit crazy, but, you know. So how would they improve that in the end? Stove doesn't actually work, I don't think. But yeah, so that's fire for you. You can have it in the fireplace, or you can have it in on the hob. All right, on to the next house, and this is where it gets really interesting. It's the cooking system, the cooking house. Is this a car, is it? Yes, it's a car. I just want to check if there's anything around here. So this house is the cooking tutorial house. Here is quite cool. This has a lot of potential. So in here, you'll see all of these vegetables and things. These are things you can find around the world, like different plants. You know, there's burdock, there's carrots, onion, mushrooms, all sorts of stuff here. And you can just eat most of these by themselves. They give calories and water. Here's some apples as well. But what you can also do is cook them. As long as there's fire to warm up the cooking pot, there's water as well, you can actually cook things, which is great. Here's also a book about flora, but there's nothing really to that. But anyway, let's, for example, take 3 carrots. They have their own calorie value, give so much calories and so much water. However, if you put them in the cooking pot, if I can manage to do that, you get a click and drag. You can't right click and put it in, which is a shame. You get this carrot mix. It's tasteful, question mark. And you can see the progress. It's got this percentage of how long it takes to cook. Different ingredients take different times to cook. In a perfect world, you can balance that out. You put some water in there. Nice little detail they fixed, because in the past, if you put the water bottle in there, it just destroyed the water bottle, but now it just empties it. So that's nice. I like that. And yeah, so you got the cooking ingredients going now. You can add other things to it if you want. How about we add this? I think this is an onion, is it? Onion and potatoes. Add a couple of potatoes here. That, and then you get this mix here. Yeah, sweet onion. That's what it was. So the sweet onion is cooking really fast. It takes a long time compared to the carrots. It makes sense in real life. The same thing happens. Well, carrots rather take a while to grow. Cook. Sorry. And you can see it's shrinking in size. The more you cook it, the more condensed it becomes. So it takes less space in your backpack, and the calorie counter goes up. Eventually, though, the calories will start shrinking as things become overcooked or burned, and eventually it goes to 0. But you can basically combine more or less whatever you want in here, and that has a lot of potential, I think. I think that's really great. You can get some really cool use of different ingredients in the game. They're shrunk again. This probably is a algorithm for that. I don't know exactly how that works for it to shrink. I would like to be even smaller if possible, but I'm not sure when that happens exactly. The sweet onion is now overcooked, but everything else is not fully cooked. So yeah, but the calorie count is still going up because that one ingredient isn't slowing it down enough. But here you can see it now more or less stopped. Almost the calorie is now going down because the sweet onion is getting burnt. So it's going to take that out. Yeah. So there you go, a home cooked meal. I'm getting hot in here, by the way, it seems like. Also, if you take the apples, there's something interesting you do. Oh, not the crate, but the apples. You got a mix of apples here. These will give food and hydration. And what you could do is you could, of course, make a little apple mix here, a little apple stew. Whatever, put some apples in here. Nice, and they all cook roughly the same rate. So you just put them in there. Calorie counter goes up, water goes down, and you can just keep it in there. You got to time it, and there's actually a timer now in sense of the percentages. In the past, it didn't have that. It just you just had to just look at it and wing it to get an idea of when things were done. But now it's actually, you can actually just see it when things are done, other than just looking at the calorie count. And so it goes up, up, up. You can wait until it's done. If possible, we can make it even smaller, maybe, which would be nice, and get a nice little apple. I would say an apple pie, but it's really just an apple mix, mixed apples together that's cooked. And that's pretty much it, I guess. And let's see here. Does it shrink even more? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I was about to take it. Yeah, it's even more. So a nice compact apple dish. Now here's the thing: you got rotten apples too. And if you eat it, oops, food poisoning. Your hunger bar turns green, and that's not great. But what you can do, you can cook the rotten apples instead. They're not useless, so you can chuck them all in here, and you get a nice rotten apple mix. But this actually gives more calories and everything as well. I think it's safe to eat as well, actually, because this says apples, which is nice. Like in other games, for example, Long Dark, if you have ruined meat, but you cook the meat, you actually can eat it. It's just low condition, but you can still eat it. So that's nice, isn't that? A nice little touch. So there's that. That's cool. Okay. What else is there? Well, the food poisoning, you can't do anything about it. You have to just wait it out. It just passes eventually. You just have to wait. It depletes your hunger, that's all. Yeah, another thing here is you gotta, if you pick up you want to look into the pot, you have to click on the pot itself. Don't click on the food, click on the pot. If you click on the food, you eat the food. You want to click on the pot itself, so you can actually open it. Otherwise, you just eat it or take it if you click E. As it's still cooking, starting to be overcooked now. So this is starting near the end of it. It's shrunk. Let's take that. So now we got a nice rotten apple dish. That's great. And there are all these other ingredients too. And you can also mix other things into, like anything that's food can basically go in here, which is nice. So, for example, these books just show the different flora around. But anyway, you just pick up, for example, these things. There's also more in here. A load of different canned food. You can put that in here. So this is dog food. With the dog food in there, why not? Add some tuna. Oh, yes. What about a red onion? Get some veggies in there and an apple. That is some gourmet cooking right there. Another apple, that's it. So we got some dog food and tuna. It's cooking really fast. And to make a really nice dish. And you can put more in. You have to actually make space for it, so it doesn't allow you to put it in because there's not enough space. So you have to actually rotate it to fit into the pot, otherwise it won't work. For example, you can do that, and then here, and now it fits in. And the dog food is actually already getting burnt. It is too fast, I guess, so that's destroyed. And now you can see the tuna is getting burnt too. So those ingredients aren't adding anything anymore, but everything else is getting cooked, and the calorie counter is going up. Then it plateaus a bit, and we can always add another dog food. There you go. This is how you cook. This is a treat for hiking. You got dog food and tuna and onions and some beans. Yeah, this is a great meal. As you can see now, most things are now overcooked or burnt. So now the calorie counter is going down. It becomes inedible. And if you leave it for too long, it eventually disappears entirely. All of it becomes overcooked. You can't eat it anymore. I mean, you can eat it, but it doesn't do anything. It just completely loses everything, really. So all the calories goes down. They're all burnt now, and the calorie will go down all the way to 0, and there it's done. So you can still take this, you can still eat it, but it doesn't do anything. It's just done. That's all there is to it, really. Yeah. So that's interesting, the cooking mechanic. I think there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of different things you can add. It definitely shouldn't be hard to add some sort of recipe system to the game, that's for sure. Okay, finally, just in case you go to the weather station, you can now signal. I mean, you can always to be rescued, you need to light a flare. This isn't the weather station; it's just like a part of it to indicate the end game. And the sun's going down. A nice little light. Let's have a quick look at the light here. Looks like the sun's going down the horizon, but there's good lighting system in this game. That's for sure. Alright, but anyway, let's pretend this is the weather station. When you get there, you grab a flare and you pick it up, and then you basically shoot it up in the air. You gotta equip it though. Do that number 4, and then we just shoot it, and then we get rescued. That's basically what the game is. Up in the air. Where'd it go? Okay, I guess she shot it backwards. And then when you finish, you get all these statistics about how much food you ate and how far you traveled and so on and so forth. This is tutorials, doesn't really matter. You get a survival map, which is fantastic, but again, tutorial doesn't really show much. Okay, now that we have the tutorial out of the way, let's start an actual game. So we could do survival mode and just see how long we survive, but for this video I think it's better to do a more straightforward one, which is to get to the weather tower. Whether we actually get there in this video is another question, but I just wanted to see how the game is in practice now after the tutorial. So we're going to hop into a randomly generated world and see what it's like. I do know that since I played this last time, there have been some new features added, like paths and some other things, so this should be an interesting experience. So let's just hop into a random map. Alright, so before we hop in, there's these key tutorials here. That's something the game has expanded more and more, where they basically tell you how to do things. And most of these buttons are pretty straightforward, except that H for me is like holster, but it has 5. At the moment, you can't change the keys. You just have to learn what they are, pretty much. And you can choose whether to show the weather tower or not on the map. But if you click no, you should have a generally good idea of where it is anyway. Let me show you. By the way, the microphone has its life of its own lately, so sorry if my voice sounds a bit different. Okay, so we got a bit of a storm outside. Nice though. And oh, really nice ambience. Now if you look at the map, which is somewhere, where did that go? It's not over there. Okay, well let's find the map. Usually it's over there. Here it is. We're gonna take that. Now it says you are here down there, and this is one of those things where I really hope that they add a feature where you can actually interact with the map, so it's easy to just show you, the viewer, what's going on. Now we are in the south, almost in the middle, like southeast. Now, if I had to guess, the radio tower is pretty close to that sort of rocky part in the north, like straight under the N. That's where I think the radio tower is. But it's always at the opposite side of the map. So if I had to guess, so if I go back to here, the help menu, and turn the radio tower location on, and reveal it, you'll see is it pretty much exactly where I said, right? So this option to turn this on and off, it doesn't make much practical difference because it usually is always at the opposite side of where you start, with some margin, of course. Now, this is a pretty large map, so it's going to take some time to traverse. It looks like we have beach forest where I spawned. The green areas, it's kind of like there's some bogs. Bogs are not fun because bogs are like swamps. They really slow you down in the movements. That's really not fun. And then you have, looks like spruce forest. That's fine. So yeah, we got a little trek ahead of us here. You can actually attach the compass onto this like that. So now you have the compass on the map, which is nice. Of course, we're going to go north, which is going to go pretty much this direction. Pretty much. We get to the radio tower. Oh, it's been snowing. Look at that. It's snowing. So now suddenly it's all pearly white out there. That's neat. All right. Okay, 2 seconds, baby woke up. Okay. Sounds like someone's knocking on the door, but that's just meant to be like twigs and stuff falling. So It became snowy, that's something. Now we also have some matches here. If these get wet, they are useless. Water, and we have these flashlights. These are two different flashlights. One is like a utility one. This has this, but I think it's got battery. Then you have this one that's cranks. You just gotta recharge it like this. See? We'll see how that goes. Okay, we got other things too. We have this is, what's this? Step counter. We don't need a step count. I mean, you can use that to track how far you're going, of course. You have Walkman. Well, you can even listen to. You can find tapes and listen to music, which is kind of cool. And you can also take books to burn if you want that. You know, there isn't really much around here, really. The main takeaway from here is you also want to take maybe some tinder. Make fires start easier. They don't take a lot of space. Well, a little bit of space, I guess. And out here is a generator, which is great, but that does consume energy. I don't think we're going to come back here, but nevertheless, we can turn this off if we want to. We want to take the fuses, so we can start them in the next area. You want to check here, but there usually isn't anything. In this place, you don't loot stuff, you just open it. Now in here, you do have some chips and some beans and stuff. Now what we could do is let's see if I can pick these up. We can cook this to decrease the weight they take. So if we put in here, for example, our sweet corn, we can just cook this until the calories stop increasing, really. And also it takes less space. And then we can take it back. And then we've improved upon that, which is great. Now it's kind of plateaued. I kind of want it to be a bit smaller though, if I can. There we are. Perfect. I think I might want to also do the same with these beans, or whatever this is. The beans? It's beans, yeah. Same thing, really. Just cook them together. Put more water in there if you want from the water bottle. We also have chips. And you should be able to collect water outside in the rain, but we'll see. That's been buggy lately. Let's see. Let's get it to shrink as well. There we are. So now we have some food with us that's compact. And that's pretty much it. If you want, you can take something like a pot with you. Yeah, we have to sort that out a bit more like this, I guess. We can take this pot with us so we can cook in it if we want to. And what you really want is to take these fuses too. Now, our inventory is pretty full, but I'm not going to come back here, so I can just take this with me. And then you pretty much got to start moving. Now I'm actually too hot, because it's too hot in here. And that means I think you burn hunger faster, or so this is dehydration, I can't remember, one of them. And we want to go basically to the north, or northwest slightly, so we're going to go like this direction. Now if you look at the map, there are these black dots. These are cabins, or at least areas of interest. But there's a lot more than these around. There's about 400 cabins in any given map, procedurally generated. But your start map only shows about 10-ish or whatever this is. And you can find more maps along the way. We could actually go about this way, about northeast, and see if we can find this first cabin that's not that far. So we could do that. Would be around this way. Let's do that. Say goodbye to the cabin. Goodbye, cabin. You look great in your... wow, that is really white. It is cool though that the ground changes based on like the weather. So now it's snowing, so now the ground covered in snow, which is very cool. Okay, it's starting to get dark actually. And we want to go, yeah, like this way, I guess. Okay, this is probably marsh, which is why it's yeah, you can see there's an icon there. I'm in mud, so that means I'm going slow. In fact, it's actually dragging me away. What is that about? Now I'm getting wet. We got a thunderstorm coming in. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, I got rid of the snow a little bit too fast, I guess. Get me out of here, come on. We're going backwards. But look at the terrain change. That was very cool, although the transition was a little sudden. Let's see if we can find... Oh, we got some mushrooms. We can actually just eat these. And these will give us calories. And let's see if we can find this cabin. Wow, really strong winds here. Oh, this way, isn't it? Can't quite bunny jump up there. I do love the design here, it's fantastic. You can take a little moss too. We're wet now. Let me see if I can... Where's this cabin got to? Let's check it on the map. More this way, I think. There it is. I've gone past it. You can take shelter from the water, because our clothes are going to be really wet. We can even start a fire if we want to. I need to pick up some sticks for that though. A lot of sticks there. I'm not that cold, so I'm just having a look around. But yeah, you can see you going from cabin to cabin. Let's eat these. Fills up my hunger meter. Here's some more of these sticks. Use this to make a fire if we want to. Gotta look close to these sticks. I used to have a fire starter, which I think you can still find, but you don't start with it anymore. Where you could literally light anything on fire. Oh, look at this swampy. But now you just have matches, and you'll see the matches will be wet now. So all the wood. Okay, so now we have this. I think it's wet, soaked, yeah. Okay, so what you can do is, you can actually, if there's a stove, you can put this here. And what you can do is you can start the radiator to get these fuses. A little clunky, I have to do it, is the only thing. Then you can go and turn on the radiator, which is, generator, which is here. And then you can turn this on. Okay, why isn't that working? Oh. I gotta turn this on. There you are. Now you get lights as well. Now it immediately sets this on fire. That there. And this will now burn that. So now you get a fire and you can start drying yourself up. This is all soaked, but it's going to decrease. As you can see, it's decreasing because I'm near a fire. Let's see if does it decrease over here? Is it by building? Yeah, as long as you're in the building. Got a waterproof underskirt. -3. Let's see. Yeah. What else have we got? You basically got to look in all the drawers. You don't find... Oh, okay, that's just spawned in there, didn't it? What's this? And this... What are his pants? The installations are a bit confusing, but I think you want this to be as low as possible, I think. It's a little weird how that's done. Okay, then we have some more stuff to open here. Binoculars and more matches, that's nice. Well, I can't pick up matches. Oh wow, they take a lot of space, don't they? I'm gonna eat these chips, they take up a ton of space. Oh, we got a map. Now, oh wait, different map. Ah, literally a blank map, wow, helpful. Bit clunky like that, but okay. What else have we got? Okay, and this is on fire. Fridge. Oh, we got some stuff here. A drink. Let's drink that. Oh wow, okay. You can actually take this and you can fill it with water. Okay, let's do that. Let's go out here. Put this here. Okay, that bugged out a bit, but okay. It's strange you can't actually do that, but you get the idea. Really? I would have thought you could just do that, but fine. Okay, see if that has water in it later. Food, we got full of food. We just need water, really. What else have they got in here? Also, there's this toilet. Head up there. What's this? Water. You can take the water bottle, I think. And let's just put some of this here. Yeah, I got 2 water bottles. That's nice. Why can't I put that there? Fine, whatever. And we have, what's this? Looks like tuna. Salmon, okay, salmon. Okay, maybe eat this. Some hydration out of it. We're warming up. I'm wondering if we should just sleep. It looks like it's getting dark. Have they added sleep mechanic yet? It doesn't look like they have. They did say that was coming. It looks like maybe that's not in the game just yet. No. Unless it's a button I'm missing. That's something they are going to add so that the, you know, have to just wait out the night, you know? It's noisy. Now, where is the next cabin from here? That's the question, right? Who knows? Now, we could make it interesting to go out in the dark. Probably not the best idea, but we could do. We do have warmth, and we have hydration. So we are actually doing okay. We could do that, just to make things interesting. Maybe we should do that. We're pretty warm too. Okay, in which case, where should we go? I think we should just go north pretty much. It could be that way. Let's just do that. Start with this. I need to take the fuses though. Let's see what we got here. Oh, spooky. Can barely see anything. So it should be this way, I think. More like this way. Let's see how we get on. Can't see much. That's the adventure of it. It's spooky. Now this does remind me of like Slender Man and that sort of thing. Going out in the dark, who knows? Now when I first played this, which is like a year ago or something now, when I was in early access, actually it was a demo, but I had the full build, I think. When you went out in the night and there was a little bit of wind, oh, it was the scariest thing. It had all these sounds around you. It really sounded like, you know, someone was out there following you, like monsters and stuff. It was really creepy. Ridiculously creepy. And, yeah. But there was nothing there, but it made it sound like there was. It was really scary. But at the moment, at least, there's nothing... There are no predators or anything out in the night. It's just you, really. That's it. You're up against the environment. It's kind of like the Long Dark. Except that in the Long Dark you also have animals. But here it's literally just the environment. I think we're going a bit more east than we should. Have a look at our map here. I think we're probably heading... Yeah, we want to find a way up. You see it's surrounded by these sort of canyons. What we want to do... Okay, we got more night light here. I think we can probably turn this off. Because we got starlight. We want to get up these cliffs here. See if we can find a way up. It's kind of dark actually. We want to get up these cliffs. I mean, these terrains are massive, aren't they? Looks like it's snowing again. Yeah, the ground is slowly getting covered in snow again. We want to get up there, but we have to actually get up there somehow. It looks like we have to go around here. Now, one of the beauty of it being procedurally generated is that every game will be different. And, you know, you have to conquer the map every time, unless you deliberately load in a seed, a specific map that you want. Which, of course, you could do. Hope you can get up here. It looks like it kind of bends. It's definitely easy to see with snow. So that makes it quite unique. And it's going to be interesting to see where this game goes with that. Especially as there's no predators or any like enemies in here. It definitely has potential though. You could add that. You could add... there is an unofficial horror mod here, which I think the developers made. They had like a developers boot camp type of thing. And one of them made a horror version of it, which I think none of these are released, I don't think. It was just to test what you could do. But that would be something interesting to try. This is a very well put together game in terms of being procedurally generated. And just look at the I was going to say fauna, but flora of this is amazing. All the trees and the environmental effects. We don't need this now, I don't think. Basically see. I don't know why that you kind of slide. I think it's just the footing is weak and you lose your footing or something. Oh, it just randomly got really dark there. Why did that happen? I don't know if this flashlight runs out of juice or what, but so far there's nothing to it. Ah, there is a battery in here. Okay, 81%. Okay, well that's good to know. So I gotta find a new battery then eventually. This does look like it leads into these cliffs, so... But I think if you made a custom map that was just flat, it still would take a little while to get to the radio tower, the weather tower. So it takes a minute to get there. Come on. This is definitely the way out though, at least one of the ways out. Lucy's a bit of a bunny jumper herself, so... You got this, and now the snow's melting again. I think this is a great effect, but that it can change depending on whether it snows or not. But the transition is a little sudden. You know, it snows and it settles, and then like a minute later it melts. Little bit too fast. Okay, now I think we can go up here. Let's see where we are now, direction-wise. I think that's north. Yeah, I thought so. I can guess where we've been. I think we're kind of like, you see where it says you're here and the apostrophe of your, I think we're there. Potentially we could be somewhere else, but I think we're here. Let's just try this. We want to go roughly this way, right? This was north. Northeast. Okay, well, you want to go a bit more to the left then, like this way. And it'll be interesting to see in the replay when I either succeed or die. I can see how I did in the night, and you'll see that I definitely just walked past some cabins because of course I can't see them, and of course I could, you know, look, I could turn and like look, is there a cabin around here? You know, but it's so easy to lose your bearings. Like, which way was I going again? Was it this way? You know what I mean? So it's very easy. Well, I wish I was in... Oh, this is a plant. Burdock root, yeah. Let's take... We'll take... Can I take it? No, I'm gonna eat it then. You know, what you want is the root though, not so much a plant. These ones are for bandages, I think, right? Yeah. Something. Oh. Okay, I think the sun is on its way out. Yeah, we got this. It was fun, actually. I don't know if there's an auto walk in this game. I don't think there is. Something that would be nice to have. And again, I would like it to be so you can juggle whether you want to hold shift or just toggle it. Yeah, sun is coming out. Still a bit too dark though. I'm gonna hold the flashlight out still. Now that you can actually see, it's a little bit easier to look around for cabins. I think we can take away this flashlight soon. I do like that at the end of it you get a map. I've interviewed Brendan Green, who's the developer of this, twice. Well, the head developer, the founder, creator of it. I've interviewed him twice. And I really wanted that sort of map thing, but he brought it up by himself and just said like, yeah, no, he really wanted some sort of like end game conclusion. We can turn this off now. And they added, when I did my second interview with him, they added this thing that when you die or when you complete it, they give you a map that shows where you've been going, which is really cool, and also shows you all the cabins and everything, unless it bugs out, sometimes it bugs. And I think that's great. I really, really like that. Oh, there's a cabin. So I look forward to either completing this or dying. We're doing really well. Going through it in the night was kind of fun. And also, like, we weren't really cold or anything, so we could just take our time. We're doing fine. Food and water, really. We're a little coldish, I guess, but not too bad. We can warm up a bit here. Daybreak just happened. Looks like they've got satellite reception. Probably gets HBO here. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. I did not expect that to happen. Is it a plant? Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is a parsnip. It doesn't really give any calories, but I think you can cook them is the idea. You can go back out and grab these. They basically loaded in the cracked windows and it completely spooked me. Let's drop this. Wait, where did you go? Where did that go? Oh, here it is. It's a bit buggy, but okay. That didn't really work out. Yeah, let's put a couple of these fuses in here. No. Come on. There we are, thank you. Turn that on. It's pretty much the same cabinet as before. Let's go get the parsnips or whatever that was under here. See if we can cook something with those. They don't give a lot of calories, but if I chuck them in some sort of dish, I can maybe make something. We got here potatoes, is that what that is? It's potato, yeah. What is that? Ugh. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Okay, that's cooking. So let's open this. Let's put in our parsnips. And some water. Okay, maybe not water then. Oh. Can't I put some water in here? Come on. Really? I can't put water in here? Okay, well at least they're cooking. I wanted to put water in there. Doesn't look like I can. It's a bit annoying. Oh, I'm getting hot. That's okay. That's taking a while to cook, but at least it was the right thing to do. Let's take the potatoes as well. Could I chuck the potatoes in there? I'm not sure. How much hydration does these things give? Decent. I think I'm going to eat one of these. This one maybe. Okay, that gave a lot. Let's just see what else there is here. Don't need to make a fire. I feel like there was something there. Oh, it's binoculars. A little bit buggy. What's that? Oh, another flashlight. That'd probably be better. Because the battery will be stronger. It's actually worse. Oh, we can take the battery though. And can I swap this? No. That's interesting. I'm glad I inspected that. Take this then. What's that? That's a insert. Oh, that looks very good. Take that. Yeah, very nice. And is that about it? Shoes. I got shoes? Yeah. Not sure what's better actually. I think that's better. Don't really want to stay here too long, to be honest. How's this looking? No. Oh. I wasn't going to eat it. Oh well. Take some potatoes then. Looks like we got a terrible storm out there. Really want to go out in the storm. I might have to. I'm going to drink this water. And it should be possible to refill the water by just putting it out here. Yeah, it's filling up, see? We can do the same thing here. We can drink this. Drop it. And we place that there. They're almost full already. Now we get all our hydration. That's neat, isn't it? How's this looking? Still cooking, okay. And this stuff is dry. Yeah. Let's have a look here. Inspect. Can I drink that? Let's also drink this. And now I'm fully hydrated. And this is refilling too. So there we go. That's great. Let's have a look at this again. How's this doing? That's still cooking. So those 2 potatoes actually created quite a big meal. Look at that. I think I'm going to drop one of these tinders. Not really worth carrying it around. That's about done. We can also try cooking these mushrooms, I guess. Let's take this. How do they cook? Pretty fast. We've got a couple more here. Are there more? No, just those 2. How's this looking? I just add them. Mushroom stew. Oh. Why is that? Cook it till it's small. And I think I want to go soon, actually. So I'm not sitting around for too long. One is about to be burnt, but let's just keep going until the calories start dropping. I think we're around here. Can I make it a bit smaller? Could that work? No, it's losing calories now. Don't think that's really worth the effort. Okay, let's take these. Let's fill this, I guess. It's really raining, but anyway, I think I am kind of like where the dark green meets the light green. We gotta keep going north, and I think I want to keep going, not just wait there forever. This storm is gonna end at some point, isn't it? How big was this? Yeah, came in handy to bring this thing with me. Okay, so north is that way. Gonna go to northwest like that way. Okay, I think. Let us go. Consider it a little hike. A little steep. Not a little rough, but really this way? Go that way. There's another shelter down here. Oh, cool. In case I need the toilet. Hey, tinder. Nice. Oh. You can drink the mud water, but you get like poisoning from it. You just gotta outlast it. Gosh, the sounds. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the fuses. Oh well. I forgot to bring the fuses. And I'm gonna get soaked. But that's okay. Hey, look at this. Apple tree? That's exactly what it is. Very nice. I was gonna eat. This way we go. It is very loud, but it is immersive, I will say. Like, is it me or are sticks kind of like flying all over the place? Yeah, they're falling from the trees. That's what's happening. The sticks falling from the trees. See that? It's kind of hard to see. It happens very quickly, but there's the sticks falling from the trees. Keep going. Doing fine. We're wet and there's heavy wind, but meters are full. We're not cold. How's our matches doing? They're wet. See something in the distance. There's a little shed or something. There we are. The cabin. We could light a fire here and stay warm. Need to bring the fuses with me this time. This is a different structure. Mushrooms out here. A bucket? Yeah. Cool. It's like the starter cabin type of thing. Let's put in I only need one fuse here. On. Turn these on. Warm up. What do we got in here then? What's that? That is... Nah. We got the big pot here, which we can just place. So you can find some food. Looks like there is... what's that? That's a lighter. Yeah, light bulb. Am I missing something here? Because I can't seem to be able to pick this up. Oops. Why can't I pick this up? I feel like I should be able to. Right, things are obviously bugged. Guessing the same as happened here. Is there a door missing that's supposed to be there or something? Because I can't grab these things, which is weird. Player unknown, if you're watching, this is bugged. And we got a bed here. Yeah. Temperature is fine. Something's here. It's binoculars again, maybe? Oh no, it's hinges. And not really any food in here that I can see. That's okay, we got food. Oh, there's something. What's this? Expired soda can. Probably gives you food poisoning. I think we'll pass on that. Okay, not much to this, except that we got this, but I think it's worth... I think I'd rather just eat something, to be honest. Let's eat the stew, because that doesn't really do much. How about this one? I think actually just keep going, to be honest. So we need to keep going north, which is that way. Not much to it in this one. Is it getting dark already? What is this, like a chicken coop? Got wood in there. We need to go this way. It is actually getting dark, really? That's quick. Oh, apples! They seem to give some hydration too. Yeah. That's good. Apple hydration. I don't think we need any more. Yeah, pretty much this way. I need my flashlight again soon. This is fun, I gotta be honest. This game, I think a lot of people will find it boring. Because nothing's happening, you're just trying to get from point A to point B. Of course, you can also play a survival version of it. And a lot of people have said that about the Long Dark too. They're like, well, what should I do once I've, you know, looted everything, crafted everything? What is there to do, you know? Well, that's when you make your own game. And this is the same, you know, you can make your own game here. It's just that there isn't that much to it at the moment. It's mostly getting from point A to point B, but of course you got to maintain hunger and thirst and your temperature and all that stuff. There are plans to be able to build tree houses. So there is stuff in the works. Let's more this way. Big swamp ahead though. Let's see if we can go around it. But it's still like quite immersive, I must say. If you play survival, you can just play the same save forever. Come on. The inventory could do some tweaking. Because it's a bit clunky. It's not really intuitive what the statistics, look at that twig, work on the different items. This way, yeah. Let's just keep going. We're not cold, even though we're getting soaked here. We're actually doing alright, to be honest. So I think we can just keep going. We're going to definitely run past some cabins that are God knows where. But we just got to keep going. I'm not sure what the minimum time is to get to the weather tower. Like I said, if you do a straight line, you create a custom map that is just straight. I think... this is pretty. I think it still takes a little while, like 30 minutes or something. Hey look, cabin. Let's check out this too. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think it animals. Is there a generator? This one does not have a generator. Just this trash can. And glitchy stuff. Anything else? We got, what is that? Socks? Do we have socks? Yeah, we have socks. Basic socks, I guess. Yeah. What's that? That is basic sweater. Candle. We can't sleep just yet. Hey, we got some cassette player there. What's this say? Geology. Geolicky. Okay. Nothing else really. I can make a fire if I had the stuff. But I don't really need to. Big fire in the barrel. But we're not that cold, to be honest. Let's see. Let's have a look at our map. So I think we're not even halfway there. And we need to keep going, to be honest. I think I just want to keep going north, probably, from here. Like, straight north. It's not that cold. I think just keep going. We seem to be just having kind of like flat terrain, right? More or less. We're just gonna keep going. In some sort of like meadow now. Can you see the lightning actually? Seems to be just sounds in the sky. There are lightning bolts though, you can see them. I think I've only seen them once. It's usually just flashes like this. They're not cold, so I'm fine. Meats are full. They're doing just fine here. The thunder though is violent. Violent thunder. This looks rocky. I'd rather say high ground than low ground. The twigs is flying everywhere. This looks so silly. Why is there a big drop? Oh, is that the weather tower? See that? In the far distance there. Seems alright. So what is that? That's northeast. I must be near these cliffs. Is that really where it is though? I mean, that could be it. I guess it is that. Okay, well, let's just go that way then. Are we taking a shortcut here or what? Yeah. Parkour Lucy. He's fine. Little terrain glitch there, nothing special. Ow. Poor Lucy. Oh, that's one way down. Which way is northeast? That way. Because that kind of discombobulated me. Did I say northeast? I meant northwest. Come on. I have a spare battery, so I definitely have taken some wrong turns this run. Still decent temperature, we're wet, but other than that we're fine. Sun's coming up soon. There are supposed to be paths in the game. I've yet to see one though. But they are supposed to be there. Oh, I hate the swamps so much. I just hate the mud. I get it, you know, I get it. It's muddy. You gotta step slowly, you can't run across it. You know, I get it. But gosh, do I hate it. Going west now. Just trying to avoid this muddy area as much as I can. And it's a big muddy area too. I think we can't avoid it forever. Oh, there's some burdock here. Yummy, yummy. Let's get up here. I think the sun's coming up. I'm very curious to see the end result of this, the map where I've been going. Okay, need to get up and turn more this way. Okay, sun's coming up, we're getting illumination. The map didn't really look like there was going to be this much Up and down. And do you see how far away that weather tower was? Far away. Let's keep going. Hey, well, this is a hike, isn't it? I feel compelled to like bunny hop up it. I don't know if this goes fast or not. I don't think it does. Okay, we actually don't have that much food. We also eat some apples and stuff, which of course we can take with us. We can cook them. Just refuel so much hydration as well. Glad they thought of this. You can actually reach them pretty high up. Eat the whole apple tree. No one has ever had a tummy ache eating 8 apples. Alright, a bit more this way. And I've asked the developers this for like a year, and they haven't added it, but I really wish you would holster by double clicking. So if I now click 2 and bring up my compass, like that, I wish I could click 2 again, and it will go away. But it doesn't. You have to click 5. It's a small, simple little thing that I really wish was in the game. There's a few of those little things like that. Same as toggling a setting that allows you to toggle the run and that sort of stuff. Going through this wooded area. Make progress, but this should give you a good idea of the scale of this thing, huh? I've been going at it for like an hour, and you know, I haven't had that many obstacles. I stopped here and there, sure, but you know, I'm doing alright, really, with everything. And you know, look how far away this stuff is. I mean, it is 8 by 8, isn't it? Is that what it is? 8 by 8, so it's like 64 square kilometers. Which means you're effectively hiking like maybe 7 kilometers to get to the weather station. It's pretty far in a wooded area. And I seem to always roll the wooded areas. Whenever I roll the other biomes like grasslands or whatever, mountains, I never actually play them. More for like cinematic shots and that sort of thing. Okay. Got a slight viewpoint here. I think the weather tower is there. Up this hill. Is that right? Should have brought the binoculars. No, I don't think we're quite there yet. I think we are about halfway. About in the middle of the map. But it is this way. I can't see the weather tower. Ow. But I'm pretty sure... Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Might be able to make it in one go then. Yeah, there it is. It's actually not that far then. I'm closer than I thought. Although that is a bit... I think that's deceptively far. Like, it looks closer than it is, but... So this direction is exactly northwest. Okay, so I've been going a bit more east than I should have. Exactly northwest. What number? What is that, 55? Oh, sorry, 58. If we head in this direction pretty straight, then we got it. We just got it. Because we got to get there, though. And it's snowing again. So far, no paths, and I gotta say, this is pretty easy so far. Even going out at night, but only if you have, like, your meters are high enough. And once you start getting cold, it's a problem. You know? You just freeze to death. Whenever I've gone out in the dark and in the rain, I've always had rations and stuff with me. So, I've been okay, really. But if you go out without that, then it's tricky. Then you're gambling on finding a cabin, pretty much. It's more this way here. I don't think I'm going to stop at any cabins if I find them. There's an apple tree, but I have food and water. I think we can just beeline it there now, to be honest, because we know where it is. This is pretty though, look at this. Again, like the technology here is impressive. The fact that you can generate these massive procedurally generated maps and it looks organic. The placement of the trees and the debris, the plants, the rocks, the forageable plants. It looks amazing. It looks, for the most part, pretty natural, as if this could be a real place. I really like that's highly, highly impressive. And the fact that it does change from dry to snow and sort of stuff is also very cool. So from a technological standpoint, this is fantastic. And there's also, of course, like I appreciate things like you can throw stuff into the pots and you got these meters are fine. It just needs fleshing out a little bit. That's what the game needs. You could survive in it as it is now, but it's very early access sandboxy, you know. It's more developed than most other early access survival sandboxes I've seen. They're usually made by small independent studios. This is a bit more fleshed out than that. But just because of the technology, really. But then again, this is also a stepping stone towards 3D internet, isn't it? So the whole plan for Brendan Green, PlayerUnknown, is to basically make a 3D internet kind of thing in 10 years or something. This is the first step to that. So now it's just a big open survival game, testing technologies. And then in time, you know, you'll add the story, and then there'll be multiplayer and this and that. And then the snow goes away. I don't like that part, I'll be honest. I like that it starts changing the snow, even though it happens a little bit too fast, if I'm honest. But once the snow goes away, it happens really fast. That should be way slower, like 10 times slower than that. Yeah, this is fun. By the way, I don't think I have any achievements in this game because nearly all the videos and all the playthroughs I've done on this game has been on the Pathfinders build, which don't give achievements. So I think I did mention it before, but in case I didn't, I am on the inside testing team for this game. That is, I'm not hired by them. They don't pay me. I'm just one of those people who are regular players, but I have access to the... There's a cabin right there. I have access to the basically dev build of the game, which also allows me to use cheats and fly around and cinematic shots and what have you. I have more tools and I have newer builds than people who have the regular game. But I don't get any achievements, fortunately, playing that. There's a cabin right there, but we don't need it. It should be pretty close now. We need to get higher. I think it's up this hill, like that hill there. I think that's where it is. But we are almost there. And then that's a wrap. And I think I'm just going to go for it, because we're not that far now. I don't think we've gone past it. I think it is up here. Pretty much. I think that you get some elevation soon, and that's where it is. I hope it doesn't get dark before I get there, because that would be annoying. All this way. I've gone in almost a straight line. They should add a sleep mechanic. I thought they had added it already, but apparently they haven't, it seems. But they are supposed to add a sleep mechanic where you can sleep through the night. So at the moment you just have real time, so to speak, for survival. But the idea is to do something like what Subnautica does. You sleep and it doesn't really do anything to your meters, it just passes time. And that's just to skip past the the night. That's the idea anyway. I think the weather tower should be here. There it is. I can see it. I'm glad my sense of navigation or compass use wasn't abysmal. In real life, I have a really good sense of direction. And I was actually I did join orienteering once. I was quite good at it, but I never really invested in it. I didn't think actually it was that much fun to go around looking at maps of the forest and finding out where things were. I thought it was more fun to sort of like navigate cities and stuff like that. Anyway, so there it is. Now we just got to get up there, but I'm guessing we can go around here. And then we got it. I wasn't actually sure I was going to get to the radio tower, I mean weather tower, in this video, but it looks like we might. As long as I can get up there, that is. It looks like we might have to go all the way around because there's nothing here. I'm sure this will level out, but it does look like the elevation is flattening out a little bit. We're just going to keep going till we find a way out. That's one thing also I have mixed feelings about in this game. Because it's procedurally generated, whenever they make sort of cliffs like this, so like plateaus you have to get up, of course it's also randomly generated where the entrances and exits are, and there might only be one or two, and you have to go around the whole thing. You can kind of tell on the map, of course, where this is, and I have a feeling I have to go all the way around, which would suck. I have to go the other direction, but let's just... We're in it now, let's just try, and it's going to get dark, isn't it? This sucks. This is the problem, really, that you have to go all the way around to find a way up. There should be more paths leading up here, otherwise it's too much running around, I guess. But this looks like, are we getting there now? No? Oh, maybe here. This might be it. Or one of the options anyway. Maybe. It looks a little steep, but might work. It might work. Forget. No. I want to get up there. Don't you dare. I think we got it. I don't know if that was intended, but it looks like it's a path you could take. And here is the weather tower too. You can see it. I think from here we're home free. I think. Temperature's good. Decent hunger and everything. Let's go here. I don't know exactly what this terrain looks like, so. It was actually not as far as I thought it would to get there. I knew it takes a while. As you can see, it takes almost an hour. Now, of course, I stopped several times. This is quite uneven terrain, but if you go in a straight line, like maybe half an hour or something like that. But it wasn't as far as I thought it would be. I thought this would take a bit longer. And here we are, the weather tower. How about that? You gotta go up there and shoot a flare. And there should be a map actually that says where you went. I think it gets there when you end the loading screen too. We'll do it now anyway. And I think I got it in the nick of time before it got wet. And here we are. Good old weather tower. So that blinking light was the weather tower, which is neat. Before we climb up here, I'm gonna eat my stuff. There we are. Here we go. Quite a big climb. You have to go all the way to the top and shoot a flare. Now there is a story reason for why you're going here, but that hasn't been disclosed as of yet. But when they do add story mode, that will make a bit more sense as to why this is happening. Oh look, there's those towers too. And further up we go. Next one. If you have some spawns, you can't see the weather tower all the way from your cabin. You couldn't do this time because there was too much stuff in the way. But you should be able to see the weather tower from where you spawn. Get me up there, huh? Such a big climb. Alright, we're getting there. I think. It's a bit of a climb, come on. We should reach like a control room of sorts. Let's just check out here too. Yes, there's one of the rooms. And you got there's actually stuff in there. Yeah, there is expired food and things. Oh, a little lounge. The rain. Look at that. Where's south? So a cabin is kind of like that direction, all the way back there. Alright, let's continue. Okay, can't be much further. There's the flares. Take those. Oh, let's drop our pot, shall we? Before I check out the flares, I want to... There we are. So here's my journey. Now look at that. That's interesting, isn't it? So I went in a pretty straight line. Found it pretty well. So we started down here. And as you can see, I was going to go northwest. But I went northeast because I saw there was a cabin there, right? So that's the cabin I went in. And then we went here and I realized that, wait, there's cliffs, so we got to go up those. Went up those cliffs. And then I went pretty much north until I saw this cabin, ended up there. And then just gone northwest. I got actually almost in a straight beeline for it, especially from this cabin. Northwest. And then I found another cabin. I can't remember where. I think that was here or something. Yeah, and then all the way. And then I got to the cliffs, which... I think the route I took was okay. It looks like it happens again over here. You can get up and also on this. I think if I had gone to the right, I would have gotten there a bit faster, but yeah. Nice, so that's it. I started basically down the swamps. This is my swamp. And then I went through woods pretty much when I got there. Alright. Let's light a flare. Is that here or is it higher? I think it is here, isn't it? Or is it even higher? No, it's here. Alright. To success. Where did it go? Oh, there. Yay. There's some statistics, yeah. Calories, hydration, all of this was fine. Wet haze, yeah, that sounds about right. Distance across 5, what did I miss? Took a little bit over an hour. And yeah, distance of 9 kilometers. And here's the map with we show the cabin. Here you can see this is the same one we saw earlier. So this also shows the cabin. So you see here, I went past quite a few cabins here. I missed some cabins. So I went, I think after this, was it after this cabin? It was night. Or was that this cabin? Yeah, night. I went through the night twice. And here's a few cabins I walked past. And here after this cabin, this is where I stopped being in the cabin. So I went into 3 cabins only, really, plus this little thing here, this little mini thing. And after this cabin is when I gave up doing that. And you can see I go in a straight line. There's this little shed thing, mini cabin. And it looks like I've gone through the cabins. Here's 1, here's 2 here. Really close to this one. This cabin here is the one I saw, I think. I walked past this one on purpose. But yeah, it's actually kind of hit this massive space with no cabins. I went straight through that, and then I went around up here. I love that. I love this map. This map is fantastic. I love that you can see your track, see where you've gone. and you know where you got lost. I'm quite happy with this one. It was fairly straight line up there. A bit of a detour here, but I think here I saw this cabin. I can't remember exactly, or whatever, or I had to, for whatever reason, I clicked on straight east here somehow, and it's kind of like northwest the whole time. Straight line here. Could have been done faster. I went the right way up here. I don't think it could have been done faster because I went through here. And then from there, of course, you could have gone even straight the line up. But I think the way I did it was actually pretty close to the most efficient way. Very cool. Very happy with that. Great stuff. Okay, I think we will go here and we'll put... Can I zoom in here? Okay, that bugged now. I see. Well, we can do like this. And I think with that, I think we'll just go into main menu, I guess. And with that, fellow survivors, I say thank you for watching. We got to the weather station, and that was a great experience. I gotta be honest, it's a fun little game to play and get to the weather station. We might try survival another time, but it's just such a massive investment of time because it lasts for so long. But what's impressive about this game is the technology and also where it's headed. So I can't remember exactly when I first tried this game, but we're approaching a year. I think it's not quite a year. And I did say to myself, I wonder what it's going to look like a year from now. And it has improved. Like the terrain is smoother, graphics are better, light's better, the item interactions are better. They have tutorials now, they have the map now. A lot more stuff has been added, but I'm curious to see where it is 2 years from now, because I feel like it can be fleshed out even more, more fluidity to it. You still can't sleep, for example. There's a lot more to be polished here or added, but it's definitely a great foundation for a survival game for sure. As I look forward to seeing where it goes. But for now, I got the weather station. Very happy with that. And we'll try again another time. And I might try survival mode one day. Again, it says cabinless, which is set for ages, but last time I tried it, that wasn't true. It's very hard if it's cabinless. But it's just, as you can see, because you can't sleep especially, like, it's quite rough. Like, how long was a day? Maybe like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that was one day. I can't remember exactly, but we can probably calculate it. And yeah, it's maybe one day, but it's such a big time investment. If anything, I think if I did do survival, maybe I would do it off camera, like I would record but not narrate, so I can do it 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I don't know, I have to see. But in any case, that was Prologue. Still in development, looking good. Still a lot of potential though. But yeah, that was fun. With that said, thank you for watching. And if you like this video, let me know. Happy to try the Prologue again. If not, we got other things, survival games, especially Long Dark, to play. And this was a great experience. So, and thank you to PlayerUnknown Productions for making this game and for letting me have the Pathfinders build for it as well. I don't know if there's any major differences. I didn't really notice any between the regular game and this one, but nevertheless, it's nice to have the latest build. That said, thank you for watching and have a good one. Bye-bye.